Solana NFT vibes are coming back and they are literally making Aptos NFTs shake. GM fam, we are live with your host, Phil X Contreras. Let's talk about what is going on here on Solana. The vibes could be back. It's Halloween right now. Some crazy stuff going on. Yes, I am wearing my Halloween costume right now. We're about to go trick or treating very soon. And there's going to be some upcoming myths that we're going to talk about, some secondary plays. Who is Kim Kardashian dating? I don't know, but lots to talk about. Okay, so this first thing we got to talk about is basically the eyeballs of what just took Aptos for a ride. It's called Brain and Zombie. So let's talk about this, and I'm going to take this out now. So, all right, so what the hell is going on here? Well, let's start off with the brains. All right, the brains are crazy right now. We have basically this project here, and it's what I would say is the seeds of this NFT. It's almost like the foundation of what is being built here. And basically, it is leading a what I would call a zombie NFT. So let's talk about it a little bit. All right, so we have this project here called Brains and Zombies, right? And Brains and Zombies has some art that is basically Halloweenish, and the current supply is at 5,304, which obviously it fits perfectly with Halloween. This all seems like it's planning to fit perfectly well with the culture of Halloween, which I kind of dig. And Brains is being released in, let's say, right now, a little bit tomorrow, a little bit the next day until October 31, which is almost ending. So here's the cool thing. You can put basically a brain on your crappiest NFT. So if you have an NFT that has been rugged, you can put a brain on it, give it a brain, and then one day it'll zombify, which is basically this whole game system right now. They are bringing back the dead NFTs, and it's honestly marketing genius. So if you watched our Value Vibes podcast about 3 to 5 days ago, we talked about these zombies when they came out, the brains actually that came out, and they were at 0.30 SOL on the market, which now they have reached around 2.8 to 3 SOL. So how can you get these brains? Well, they come in wave forms. So right here you have wave 8, and next wave is going to be around October 28, which is today. They did go a little bit off the rail, but they are preparing to come back with the next wave. And right now with this collection, whoever is basically ready for it, when the wave comes in, they can connect their wallet and then they can pick their dead NFT that is no longer valuable and redeem a brain for it. So with that, you can actually zombify it, and no, you don't have to burn your NFT. It just somehow connects it to it. And that is basically how this whole game works with this NFT. So right now there are 3 stages for this. There's level 1, level 2, and level 3. So level 1 is basically like the chunk pieces of the brain. So if we go on Magic Eden and find this out, I can pretty much show you how this whole thing works. Level 2 is basically like the mid-sized brain structure, and level 3 is what you call a full brain. So what does this have to do with this whole collection? So right now what I'm looking at right here is basically your chunked brains, which is right here. Your chunk brains are like the least valuable ones. Your mid brains are like the second valuable ones, and the full brains, they cost like about like already, I would say 17 SOL right now. So these are the brains that are supposedly that can give the most value to the zombie. The more intact, the better it is, basically. So overall, the game plan is like this. There's no fixed supply for these brains. We are technically in the first season of this whole game. Plus, these brains will only be allowed to be used during this season, which is the first season. Each brain has something for the zombies, like they have these different characteristics, yada yada. And here is the other thing, zombies. We haven't even talked about that yet. So after these brains, there's a collection of 10,000 zombies that will mint out supposedly on October 31, which is Halloween. Now, that is basically some cool lore right there. It's like it's rhyming up to October 31. And with these zombies, basically these zombies have to feed off something. So what are they going to feed off? They're going to feed off brains that they will eat. So Now you're starting to see the correlation here, brains and zombies. Zombies needs brains, so you're going to have to feed it these brain NFTs. So when you feed these brains to these zombies, the zombies basically get more powerful and stronger, and they level up. And they basically level up all the way up to level 10. So you basically have to have a lot of brains for these zombies in order to get to level 10. It's easier to get to level 2, then it gets harder to level 3 and harder to level 4 and yada yada. So I don't want to say it's probably impossible to get level 10, but it's probably going to take a lot of money to get there. So the other thing is, if you have a brain right now, if you have one of these things, which right now the lowest is oh my gosh, oh no wait, that's not it. The lowest should be around 2.84. Yep, like what it says right there. If you have a brain right now, which again, the floor price, if you see it right here, if you have it, you can actually mint a zombie for free. So how does that work? Well, HateSwap is supposedly launching this collection, which is big news because this is, I would say, probably one of the biggest mints on Solana, and it's happening on HateSwap, where HateSwap is ABC is part of HateSwap. With HateSwap, you can actually mint the zombie, and then there's going to be, I think that what they're saying is 7,000, and then the rest will be minted through a one-sided pool. So that's going to be an interesting type of play right there for these zombies, and we're going to see how this whole thing plays out. So rumors are that HG Soul is kind of connected to us, but we don't know yet. He likes the posts, but we'll see again how this whole thing plays out. I'm really liking this gamified thing with the zombies. It's really cool. It's really Halloweenish. Right now it's Halloween. It's just all great. I bought about 15 of these bad boys because eventually when that time comes on October 31, I do think this price is going to go higher. And then at that time, I'm probably going to sell a couple of them. But I am curious on how this whole thing is going to work later on season 2, season 3, season 4, season 5, because there's a lot going on here that we don't know about, and it is exciting. All right, so the next project we're going to look at is called Elixir. Now, Elixir is basically coming out with their collection as well. Elixir is a platform where you can basically sell, buy NFTs, plus liquidity, plus protecting creator royalties, plus Launchpad, and they are basically coming out with a 10,000 collection. Twitter following is at 35K, and there will be about 3,000 NFTs going for the public. So on other news, other than that, there's going to be 777 Nectars NFTs that came out with Elixir in the beginning. These guys will be able to mint the next Elixir NFT, and there's going to be like 7,000 of them. So that's why there's 3,000 left over for the public. Now, overall, this is a cool platform. And one of the cool things here is that you can buy a fraction of a blue chip NFT. So if you own 50% or more of that NFT, you can essentially go on their Discord and use their Discord. So you don't really have to own the full NFT. And overall, I think that's a really cool idea. And the whole procedure behind this is that you can now basically buy, if you think the gods are going to go at a higher price and you don't have enough money to buy a 200 soul the god, you can buy the god at, let's say, 10 soul, and then buy the rumor and then sell the news. And so eventually, basically, you can play the whole game that the gods are playing as well at a lower price, which is overall exciting. It's cool. I like it. I like the fractionalized version of this, and Elixir is going to do very well. The vibes here, you could tell, is insane as well. There's 120 plus mutual following for this project. Definitely a cool looking thing, and just check out the website. All right, so the next thing we got to look about is basically called Claynosaurz. So this upcoming NFT, we've been relentlessly talking about this project, and it's just getting better and better and better as the time goes by. So these guys are beyond professional in what they're doing. The art behind here is studied and analyzed to the teeth. They basically gave us a thread about concept art and how concept art works. And how the way this thing works is that they uphold standards on the concept art. So it's not like they're just creating art and then they're like, all right, let's make some 3D stuff on it. No, they're basically designing it, they're creating it, they're looking at it first, they're analyzing it, they're looking at the emotions, they're looking at the futures, and then they're gonna be like, okay, now let's create this 3D animation around this one project. So you can see how they actually go about this step by step. They get this whole thing worked out with the concept art, and then they move on to the 3D version of it. So it's really cool on how they're describing their professionalism. And I haven't seen anything like this in Solana, and I can see why so many people are bullish on this project. So the one thing they did introduce are a couple of the artists on the concept art side. And the other thing that they explained was that they have divisions separate for each artist on their specific expertise. So here you have this person named Joyce Liu, who is actually a senior designer at Oddfellows TV. And she is also a lead artist on Popheads, which I didn't know about. And that NFT is also actually really hyped as well for Solana. And she basically does animations. She was not nominated in Netflix, also part of Warner Bros. And Ubisoft. And overall, it's a cool person to look at on how they basically create their art. And you can see here, look at the shades around here and the color that this person put in. Really cool stuff. And then the other person that they basically introduced was this person called Daniel Vizart. So overall, I think this person is also a great artist. You can see here, Shed Smith is also a great artist and was an art director as well. So, and again here, Warner Bros., Ubisoft. Overall, bullish on this collection. I can't wait for it to come out. And I do want to do a separate video about this Claynosaurz project, because there's so much going on here. And hopefully one day we can have a conversation with Claynosaurz. I think we can get a conversation with them one day. All right, so if you haven't heard the news about what is happening with Elon Musk, basically a lot has happened in the past 24 hours. And we already know what's going on. But the main thing here for us is NFTs. So what is happening right now? So they just introduced this thing about NFTs where NFTs can be tweeted tiles, which basically means that you can show a larger picture of the NFT alongside details like the title and creator, and you could probably buy and sell directly from the tweet, which is cool and definitely a catalyst for NFTs on platforms like Twitter and probably Instagram that will be coming out, which is overall another great thing added to Twitter. So hopefully Elon Musk can keep working on his thing and improving things like the blockchain, NFTs, and crypto. We do know that he's adamant about adding blockchain to Twitter at some point. And one of the reasons is because he's trying to defeat bots. And with a blockchain, you could pay a minimum amount, like a Solana transaction fee, which is nothing. And then that's how you can, that's a strategy of how you can remove bots off this platform. All right. So another thing that we got to talk about is Atadia. And Atadia is bullish news for Solana because right now they basically just said that they're introducing a royalty payment checker for the whole system, for the whole ecosystem, where you can actually go into the website, put a Solana address, and see if they paid their royalty. So this could help out people, it could help out projects, and overall on who paid and who didn't, and who they will benefit if the people did pay their royalties. All right, so now let's look into the thing that a lot of people like and want to get to. It's Aptos. Aptos NFTs, Aptos NFTs. Currently, the meta sentiment is slowly dying down. I would say in Aptos NFTs. I am seeing less Aptos algorithm on Twitter. So it's either the mint hype is dying, or Solana is building its vibe back up, or Aptos is separating on its own will now, where they don't really need Solana folks anymore, where you have Aptomingos now setting their Discord now. They all have their own profile pics. They're building their own community. So it's probably one or the other here, but I do know that Aptos is no longer kind of on my Twitter algorithm. Either way, there are still some potential great mints and flips like with Aptomingos and what Aptomonkeys did, which we can talk about. And here are some upcoming potential mints. Okay, so this Aptos NFT is called Aptos Ape Society. Their mint date supply is currently all TBD. They have a supply of 5,001. And as you can see right here, their actual PFP, I'm not really a fan of it, but let's talk a little bit more. All right, so the Twitter following is at 37, 37K, 38K, and their mutual following right now is at 32 for me. And the people that are following this is actually quite interesting as well, because we have some big players. You got NFT Boy, you got Soul Boo, you got Nico Curry, Soul Playboy, and these two guys who are from Monkey DAO. You have and Solana Legend following this, which I find interesting. Every time I see Solana Legend following a project, he just doesn't follow a project. He follows a project that could vibe and have potential as a building type of utility project. So interesting right there. You have JPEGler as well, and you have Franklin, you got Value in Time. You got a lot of players following this, and that's why I digged further into what the hell is going on with Aptos Ape Society, because of the following and the interest. So here's the thing. The art, okay, it's pixelated, it's front-facing, not my style, but the builders are pretty legit. They were basically an animation team behind Gucci and PBS. How do I know this? It says it right here. Boom. Gucci and, oh, I didn't even share my screen. Gucci and PBS right here. Boom. They are a building type of team. And you can see right here that these guys are actually serious. So here's the front-facing app, PFP right there. And here's actually what they're building. All right, so the art is not great, but they're builders. So overall, legit brands, big company brands that have established dominance around the globe, and with their logos and merchandise and yada yada. So maybe these guys do have experience on what they're doing. The only thing is that, it's a monkey PFP, and you hear me say this time and time again. Monkey PFPs are not my thing. There's so many collections of them that I kind of get tired of them. But overall, I do think this is interesting as far as what they're doing and who these people are. So let me know what you think of this group here, and on to the next collection. All right, so this next one is actually pretty cool as well. It's called In the Shadows, and this project mint date price is TBD, but the supply is a 5,000 collection, and they are building an alpha group. Now, I know what you're saying right now. The alpha groups are always, they always go down. They're not bullish. They're just alpha groups. And, when you buy an NFT, it usually just goes down in value to nothing. But there's always a couple of them that are actually very serious, and they do hold their value or even gain in value. So this one could maybe be that for Aptos. I don't really know yet, but I've dug enough to where I could see some potential. So basically, this thing, they're building a council around this project. It will be governed by holders who own the NFT. And here is kind of the crazy part. Each NFT will be a one-of-one of their own name. So each NFT of this 5,000 collection will be a one-of-one. There's no crazy connection trades here, algorithm of NFTs. It's actually all individually designed. So the art is sick. I do like the art behind this project. It's really cool. It's really interesting. It's definitely different. It's unique, and I dig it. PFPable, yes. Everything is a check mark for me. And the one other thing is that the mutual following is not that many, and I don't know why. Maybe it's new, and that's why I want to keep a close eye on this and see how this plays out. So for next week, let's keep an eye on this and see where the mutual following hangs around. Maybe this thing just came out, but I don't know yet. It kind of reminds me of Boogles as well. Not like the art, but like the style of the community, I guess. It's like Boogles kind of secretive, and this project also feels that way. So overall, I really am interested on this and see how it plays out. Let me know in the comments on what you guys think of that project. Okay, so the next project is called Azumi, and the mint price is basically one Aptos. Supply is at 7,000, and they are building a kind of like a brand around their name and a clothing line, and also they're gonna be sending airdrops. And overall, that's basically their style of this project. You can see right here that they really focused on branding, and it's a little bit different. You have some people that are following this that I do follow, like General Soul. You have JPEGler, you have Buddy, you have Zircon, you have It's Ragnar. Overall, it's mid-size hype. I don't know if it's gonna. I don't think it's actually gonna mint out, but we'll see how this plays out as well. Again, maybe this is a new project that just came out, but something I'm also looking at as well and see how it performs. Overall, as far as the project, this is most likely like a flip. I wouldn't look at this as a long-term play because the way the project is right now with the roadmap, there's not much going on and it kind of worries me, but we'll see how this one does. All right, so the next project is called Spooks, and we talked about this a little bit, but they are gaining hype right now. This project is basically building an analytics type of tool. And the last time we talked about this, they built a upcoming NFT section where you can see all the hype mints, which is actually really cool. And we can see it right here, how it looks like and how it plays out. Here it is right here where you can see about the project. You can see all the projects here. You can see the Twitter, the Discord, really cool stuff, the drop calendars, the spook mixer, and the team the team is already showing us their product and how their product works, which I enjoy and I like. They also have the hype section right here. We can see the hype score of the NFTs for Aptos. Overall, Apto people are hungry for analytics. They're hungry for tools and they need it. So this project definitely looks like the next project that could actually maybe mint out. And also, they're actually, here's the other good thing about them. They have good art. And the art is pretty sick, and I do enjoy it. And if you can see right here, this is how their art looks like. So if they are coming out with this and with analytic tools, pretty cool stuff. Now here's the thing that I wish people look into, but hype projects are usually like brand projects, and it's never utility. So this project is more like in the analytics side, and the thing with that is that it's not as hype as all these other projects. But overall, it does look like it's gaining ground, and maybe it's because it's one of the few analytics, and also that the tools are actually great. So overall, cool stuff from them. I can't wait to see this play out. And the next project we have is Bears. Bears is still killing it. They're at 74K right now as far as Twitter following. 59 mutual following. We already know who's following this. Pretty much everyone on Solana and Aptos. All the big players are following this. Collection size of this one is 10,000, and they just had their talent show on Spaces, and it was a really big deal. It was hilarious. A lot of people were on there trying to get their whitelists. And overall, I am liking this project. Their whole model is awesome. The broad thing is awesome. The bear is awesome. The art is awesome. The memes are awesome. So there probably is going to be sub-DAOs with this. It's charming as well. And overall, I think this is going to be another big mint that's going to come out as profitable. And overall, I do think as far as Aptos NFTs, and this is like the last review, as far as Aptos NFTs, the mint looks like it is dying. It's slowly dying, the mint meta. Solana folks are, talking about their own projects now, as you can see. And overall, I do think that, they're probably going through a different phase right now, a different phase where Aptos NFTs are now building and people are watching them build projects. It's no longer about the mints because we just went through the phase of the first of this, the first of that, the first of this. Now it's about building. Now it's about, okay, what can you deliver now? And this is actually like the most dangerous part as well, because this is the part where people can't actually meet their goals. And when they can't meet their goals, the NFT value goes down, and a lot of losses happen during this time frame. So this is the most dangerous part, and this is the most interesting part. So as always, take profits on these projects. So let's now look at Solana and see what's going on in Solana. All right, so in Solana, we have the volume for the 24-hour volume at almost 90K, which is kind of okay. It's not that bad. We do see a little curve going down as far as volume. Magic Eden is at 91%, which they gained 1% from last week, which was 90%. So they're basically back in the game. Hate Swap is at 5%. They did lose a percentage, I believe, from last week. Exchange Art is still Exchange Art, will always be Exchange Art at 1%. They do a lot of one-on-ones, and they're always in their own world, which is fine, which is cool. And Hyperspace is at 0.80, and Yas disappearing even more. All right. So as far as what's going on with mints and daily volume and marketplace volume, you can see here marketplace volume as far as sales, it has died down a little bit between all the platforms like Solana Art, Magic Eden. And then the other thing is that the mints are starting to come up a little bit higher from what it used to be. Sundays is usually always brutal, but you can see it's moving up a little bit, but still concerning and where it's at right now. I mean, there's a lot of macro things happening with the Federal Reserve and the war in Ukraine. So something that I'm always watching this. I'm always seeing what's going on every day with this. And also we have the daily transfers still in the medium and gaining a little bit higher, just a little bit. So it's kind of like a typical day right now. Not much going on, but overall, let's look at my watch list right here, which I added a couple of things. I added Brains, which we talked about earlier, and I've been watching this closely. I bought about 15 of them because I am bullish on what's happening with it. And I also added Songen as well, as I'm keeping an eye on this project because they're building basically like a Spaces, Twitter Spaces type of organized site, which is really cool. And I'm going to look at it and see what else they're building around there. All right, so let's start off with the 7-day volume here. We have Brains that gain up 588%. Me and Zircon, we talked about this project when it was right here on our Value Vibes podcast. Make sure you stay tuned on that. Sign up for our Value Vibes podcast. And it has grown significantly. And I think this thing could actually probably be more bullish with what's going on with October 31 and Hollywood and Halloween. And yeah, so Blocksmith Labs is still holding steady at 90 SOL. We have Utes gaining ground from 14%, 118. I'm also liking this project. I'm holding my Utes right now and waiting for the news from what Frank has. It's been holding its ground through the whole time frame, which is very impressive because they curated their list. They curated their list to basically people who like to hold, and it worked. All right, so we have ABC at 24. It gained 12% from what it used to be at 20%. I mean at 20 SOL. So it's slowly gaining ground. It's slowly growing. Listings have gone down to 400. So this is very great news. And I do see some good things coming out of Hate Swap with the Haiti token at some point. And the connections with Lunar, the connections with maybe Zombies, maybe Brains, and the connections with Kikiverse. So a lot of things happening with the ecosystem here, with the network, with ABC and HTSO and Hate Swap. All right, so we got Soul Decoder. They just added Aptos as well. They're still gaining ground from this. I'm hoping this goes down at some point so I can get some. And then as typical, we got Helions, Ooze, we got Bothead that all have gained ground as well. Now, the most interesting part for me are the ones down here, and we can start off with, actually, let's go with Kikiverse, because Kikiverse was something we talked about last week and even 2 days ago when it was at 0.50, and it's finally also gaining ground. It gained about 20%, and I did say that this was a good time frame to buy, and it did gain back up to around 0.70. Now, you can see it is going down a little bit. I do think it's going to stay at here for a little while still. So one day I still would like to get into this, but as you can see, I did buy some Zombies out of nowhere because of what is going on with the Halloween lore and everything around it. All right. So Parrot Tools is also still a good one. They did gain in value a little bit in here. And we have as well as, let's see, Magic Ticket is also, I would say, still at steady ground right now. I am waiting for this to come down, but I don't know if it will come down because they are a strong product, a strong company. All right, so overall, let's see what the comments here. We have Costas, what's up? Costa, what's going on, man? Hey, let's see. Brain listens, we are hungry. Yes, I am hungry for Brains. I did buy some Brains, and I am waiting for that Zombies project. What's going on, Hector? Good morning, man. What's going on, Deborah? Good morning. So yeah, If you guys have any questions on the projects I am looking at, let me know. I am happy to talk about them. We have Bonfida Wolves as well, which I also enjoy looking at. Bonfida Wolves is a project that is connected to the domain service for Solana. Solana has basically you have like you have Brave browser here where we have our .coms and all that good stuff. Solana has their own domain service where you can buy and sell domains, Solana domains. So Bonfida Wolves is basically an NFT project connected to these domains. So I think that they're going to be building a community around these domain services and eventually deliver some good stuff for the holders. All right, so let's look at Liberty Square. Liberty Square is also a great project that I am looking at as well. They have a nice lore. They're building a product that we are still curious about, and they are coming out with some great art for their project as well. And it's still leveled off at here. I do think at some point it's gonna come back up to 16 SOL, even 20 SOL as well when their product comes out. And overall, I would also like to look at the 24 hours and see what happened within this past day. All right, so we did see some movement with OK Bears because they're coming out with their IP product, and it's gone up just a little bit from their 35 SOL to 42 SOL. Experiments is still kind of down. I did buy 4 of these, and I'm waiting for this to reach at least 1 SOL to where I would sell 2 of them, and I would love to keep 2 of them as well. And Rotten Eggs is still at the same price right now, still waiting on this. And overall, this is this is my watch list on what I look at and what I like to buy. So let me know what you guys think of it. And that is basically all I have. Any questions, guys, just let me know. I'm happy to talk about anything here. All right, so we have nothing else right here. Again, Brains, I love Brains. What's up, Diego? What's going on, man? Good morning, fam. And hopefully we're gonna see some latest news on the Brains and Zombies project that is coming out. So overall, thanks guys for watching this. Thanks for the live show. Make sure you smash the like button, you subscribe, you comment below on the video. And again, I go live Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays around 9:30 a.m. on Eastern time, because I'm on the opposite side of the world. And again, much love, guys, and peace.